Good day, everybody. It's Jerry from BackCountry Wrenching, and welcome to today's episode where we're going to be polishing a turd. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but that truss is going to be for the Dana 30 on my TJ. And I know a lot of people are going to say I should have went and got myself a high pinion Dana 30 from the Junkyard, and I absolutely agree. But I have too much money invested in this Dana 30 with the 4.56 gears, the aux locker, Johnny joints. So it'd just be a waste to sell it at a huge discounted price when I'm just going to go ahead and polish this turd, because it'll do what I need it to do for the type of stuff that I do. And that's a lot of dues. There is one slight problem that shouldn't be an issue. I can't do anything about it now. I purchased this from TMR Customs 2 years ago, and I just opened it up. And I was going through the packaging, and what I'm missing is the grease zerk for that, but that's not important. What's important is that I don't have the ball. The kit didn't have the ball from TMR Customs. And I ordered this 2 years ago, so there's nothing I can do about it now. But I already have Johnny joints on my Jeep, so I don't have to take the one off of the pumpkin. I'm just going to go ahead and take this one out of here because it should fit in there, and I should be good to go. Now, typically, I would just get my MIG out and weld that. However, going forward, I'm going to start changing things. For the most part, with my E-Sub Rebel going forward, I'm just going to start TIG welding everything. I'm still going to use the MIG function, but I'm going to get some flux core so I don't have to use gas. And then going forward, everything's going to be TIG welded where I can. TIG welding is just a nicer weld all around. It does take a little bit more time, actually a lot more time, but I need to learn patience, and TIG welding this will probably help me achieve that. I am almost out of gas, so I'm gonna have to get this re-safetied. The tank's expired, and then get filled up. So you can always go into the settings here, which is really nice because it gives you an idea on where you should be for your welds. So I'm going to go 75 amps for my starting point. Well, I won't be TIG welding anything now. A couple reasons. I don't have any 3/16 rod. I would need to properly TIG weld it, and of course, my luck had an accident. Set the TIG torch down on my welder and it fell off and broke this piece. So now I don't have a spare. Kind of hooped right now. Switching back and forth is actually really easy. Swap the gas bottle out. Make sure you take your ground from the positive, plug it back into the negative. Take this little jumper in there, plug this back in, reset your welder to MIG, and we'll try this again. Shut her down. that's about all I can do with this for right now, because I'll have to clean the axle, fit it up. I shouldn't have to tweak these at all. Should basically just go on. Good morning, sleepyheads. How are you, Doms? What are you doing? Hey, you looking outside? Seeing anything interesting? Is there any kills? Is there? Is there any kills this morning? Nothing? You're just catching some sunlight? I think it's time for another haircut pretty soon. See, my sides are getting a little bit on the shaggy part. And it is somewhat of a nice day. Spring is just right around the corner. And taking a little break right now from doing the backcountry camping trips because I'm just not getting out of it what I want. I want to be doing a whole bunch of things when I'm out there, but the problem is that in the wintertime the days are so short. Last few times I've been skunked because the weather has been crappy, and it doesn't make for a very fun video if all I'm doing is going out there, chopping wood, setting up, building a fire to keep warm, and then shut her down and leave the next day. I need to be able to be doing something fun. But if you guys look behind me there, you see what's back in the garage. The old mighty TJ here has been making an appearance. Been doing quite a bit of things to it slowly. But we're coming down to the final stage now. And the final stage is to finish doing the front end. Get some 35s on her. We did the LS swap. And I think once we get everything finished and we're back on 35s, we will be looking good. That being said, I'm just going over all the parts, and my parts for my TIG welder came back in, because you guys remember I dropped it and this end piece broke off, so I bought a kit, and it comes with these clear cups. It was pretty cheap. Focus, where are you going to focus? Where are you trying to focus? There we go. So I'm going to try that out. I'm going to have to buy some thicker filler rod than what I got. I think that's 1/16. I need something a little bit bigger. So I'm going to weld something a little bit bigger. But, you know, the cup's got a screen in there for different sizes. So with the rear of the Jeep, I went with the Rubicon Express coils. And for the front, I'm doing the same. These are the RE1355. There we go. Those are looking nice. Nice for a couple years anyways. And this is why we go through everything to make sure we got all the parts before we tackle a project. So I got new bump stops, new U-joints for the front axle since we're taking it apart. We got Yukon ball joints. We got the axle truss, one Johnny joint, one jam nut, one housing, but I'm missing one Johnny joint. And that's what I'm going to have to order so we can continue this project. I don't need it right now because I'm probably going to start with the axle truss first and then worry about the control arms. What I do need to do is, for reference, I got one of the old control arms right down here for the rear. I just want to confirm if the rear is going to be the same as the front.
So like I said before, I already got Johnny joints in there, and I don't know why that upper control arm's kind of tweaked the way it is. I'm going to have to correct that. That is the rear one right there. It's a pretty good rear main oil leak too. Not really impressed. Not really impressed how the situation with this whole motor went down. Let's do the alignment here. How are we looking? Oh yeah. They are the exact same front and back. Perfect. Perfect. So we'll have all new custom suspension. I've seen a lot of aftermarket stuff in the years, but this thing here, I mean, I just tacked it up and it just falls right into place like that. That just fits so nice, so nice.
Top priority right now is to head down to Pick and Pull. It's going to be nice tomorrow. I'm going to have a fire tonight. And going to look for a brake proportioning valve that has something that has already disc brakes. That's the main objective before I can get started on this. Organizing the parts, tack welded that, figured out what I need, what I don't need. I think it's going to be good.
Full parking lot today at the Pick and Pull.
Now the hunt begins to try to find a Grand Cherokee that has disc brakes. I did find this old TJ here and it's pretty stripped. Then I found a Grand Cherokee that did have rear disc brakes and the proportional valve is still there. So I managed to get it out. And I started to check out some other vehicles before I left. And I came across this Vortec that had, looks like a brand new alternator. So I decided I'm going to snag that too because it looks brand new. And now it's time to head her home. So this was a pretty good score from the Junkyard. Brake proportional valve set up with a Grand Cherokee that had rear disc brakes, obviously, as you guys saw in the clips. It'll almost be a direct bolt-in, except the bracket is slightly different, and I'm wondering if I'm gonna be able to maybe swap that bracket over. That's something I'm gonna have to experiment with and find out. Besides for that, I cut my hair a little bit. Sides were getting a little bit long. Keep it short now. Anyways, going back, I picked up that alternator from Pick and Pull, but when I got home, I realized that I probably just should have left it there. I just kind of, every time I'm at the junkyard, I start looking over things that I don't need, and I think of things I could possibly get. You know, if I see a part that's new, I'm going to grab it, because I don't know if I'm going to need it or not, but if it comes in handy in the future, for sure. But there's something else that I got a long time ago, and I totally forgot about, that I'm going to put into my TJ. So this is the alternator that I picked up. This is stock 145 amp alternator. And then this one right here, I totally forgot about. This is a high amp alternator, DR44. This is 250 amp, 100 more amps than this one here. The only reason why I didn't put this one in my TJ is, listen. So yes, those bearings are a little on the dry side, and I'm going to get a rebuild kit for it. New bearings, other new parts, we're going to drop that in. 250 amp alternator with the winch and everything else should be pretty good for the TJ. Those DR44s are commonly found on 3/4 ton and 1 ton trucks. So if you could find one of the holy grails in the junkyard, you're probably doing pretty good. Either way, I'm going to have 2 backups just in case. Just add it to the horde. Add it to the horde. There's one quick little project that I'm going to finish up on this first before we call it a day. And I picked up these off Amazon from Hook Road, and these are grab handles for the Jeep TJ. And I really like them in the JK when you can reach up at the upper pillar. This is gonna make a big mess. There we have it. Both grab handles are installed. Gonna make getting in and out of the Jeep a lot easier. Take my light out. I'm looking forward to finishing this off. I've had this Jeep like 10 years, over 10 years, and she's treated me well. I think it's motherfucking beer time. All right, shut her down, everybody. Shut her down. Cheers. That's not too bad, actually. I don't mind that at all. I mean, I couldn't drink a lot of these, but I could definitely kick back one with a meal by a fire. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I am moving forward with the Jeep TJ to finish it off. Get all these done. Got the brake parts. I got the larger master cylinder. I got the disc brake proportioning valve. Get that all taken care of. Get this thing on 35s once it's done. And I'm probably looking at getting some chromoly axles for the front. And I should be good to go. I should be good to go. Get this thing finished so I can bring the JK back in. Start working on the JK. And start doing adventures with the TJ. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Yes, indeed.